your home heating system with the help of Chris Cunningham of Service Plus right here in Indianapolis. The point is, the big takeaway, don't let your home heating system go uncared for this winter and end up in a real fix when it goes out on you during the coldest time of year. You can find the episode and get all the tips that Chris had to share by subscribing to our podcast on iTunes. Just pull up iTunes on your home computer or the podcast app on your smartphone, search Chat with the Experts, and hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on every single episode that we release. You can also find segments of these episodes on YouTube. Go to youtube.com. Search for Angie's List, and you can find segments of our episode there and watch us as we share these home improvement and lifestyle tips and tricks. And of course, you can find us at angieslist.com. And if you're looking for reviews on local service providers in your area, well, this is the place. It's never been easier to get good local service. An annual membership is now under $10 for the whole year. It's $9.99, and if you use the promo code WIBC40, you're going to get 40% off that annual membership. So check it out at angieslist.com today. Click the Join Now button. Well, as we get closer to spring, the real estate industry is about to start picking up steam, and it's around this time of year that a lot of folks begin looking to move into a brand new home. But what about selling your old one? Getting what your home is truly worth depends on a lot of factors, and more than ever, the way that you market your home online can really make all the difference when it comes to getting the price that you want and selling your home quickly. So today, we're going to get you some help when it comes to selling your home, and joining us to give us all the advice we need is Christy Smith, the founder of Indy Homes here in Indianapolis. Christy's been in the real estate business for over a decade, and her focus on client service and evidence-based outcomes has built Indy Homes into one of the top real estate groups in Indiana. She's designated as a certified residential specialist by the National Association of Realtors, and we're thrilled to have her joining us today. Christy, welcome to Chat with the Experts.
Good morning, Kyle.
I understand that you were originally in marketing for about a decade before you moved to real estate, and it seems like that transition makes sense. But what was it that sparked the desire to have that career change?
Yeah, so I am an entrepreneurial spirit, and I was working in the not-for-profit sector and decided to buy a rental property for fun, just to start a little rental property business, and that grew to about 5 properties. And I loved real estate. I loved houses, like a lot of people who get in the business, but I also love being a business owner. And so growing this business has been quite a passion of mine. Yeah,
and it's been extremely successful, as we stated. And you were just telling me before the show how Indy Homes is now an 8-time winner of the Super Service Award with Angie's List, which is very cool. And we've talked about real estate on this show before, but we've never talked about it from the seller's perspective. So that's kind of what we want to do today. So I guess to get us started in the conversation, if I'm someone that's considering selling my home, what are the first steps I need to take before I do anything?
Yeah, well, Kyle, I think the first step is to call a real estate agent.
Sure.
So, deciding on what professional to use to represent you in the sale is very important. And going to Angie's List is certainly a great way to start that. Additionally, we don't want to sell your house and have you be homeless. So getting pre-approved, even if you're only thinking about selling, is very important. We want to make sure that there aren't any hiccups with your credit that you don't know about, and that you're really approved to buy the house that you want to purchase in the future once this home sells. So you really want to think of the sell and the buy, if you're doing both, together as an entity, and strategically think about both at the same time.
Yeah, so there are a lot of moving parts when you think about selling the home, and we're going to discuss as many of those as we can today and kind of talk about the best practices for that. But one of the first things that was kind of on my mind when we initially talked was the idea of home staging. As you get ready to sell the home, present it to potential buyers. And something you brought about was the idea of a home transformation. Can you talk a little bit about what you mean when you use that term?
Yeah, sure. So we have a home transformation specialist on our team, and we really feel that conditioned homes that are super desirable, they sell quickly and they sell at top dollar. Today, buyers of today, they're not like, the other generations that were super handy, and they don't have a lot of time anymore. We're really the activity generation, and so spending time on honeydew projects at home is not the number one thing that people want to do anymore. So knowing that people don't have the time, skills, or money for a lot of honeydew projects at home, the shiny penny property sells number one every time. And doesn't matter the price point. This data is, I love evidence-based, and the data is very clear.
Yeah.
The most well-conditioned homes sell quicker, and the return on the investment is amazing.
Yeah.
So home transformation is literally going into the property and saying, what do I need to do to create a sellable product that someone wants to buy, and go room by room and transform that property into something that is amazing.
Yeah. So if I know I need somebody to come in and kind of help me through that process, what exactly is the home transformation manager, the person involved in making that happen, going to do?
Yeah, it's a very unusual position, probably from a real estate team. We brought this position on because I would go to so many sellers' homes and give them a list of things that I thought they really needed to do, and it scared them to death. It scared them because they've had bad contractor experiences in the past,
Sure.
or they're very busy with their time, so they didn't know how to manage the work. It seemed overwhelming. And so many of those customers would just pick someone else, a realtor who wasn't firm on these things.
Yeah.
And then they'd sit on the market for 6-8 months, get stale. It really hurt their value, and it was just not a win all around. So I thought, to serve the customers best, why don't I just hire someone on my team to manage the overwhelm that people have of getting their homes ready? Most people watch those shows on TV, so they know, yes, you're right, we do have to fix it up a little bit. And most people actually have some funds prepared to get their house ready.
Okay.
The difficulty is managing the process and the overwhelm. Who do I call? Getting them in my house when I'm at work. Am I going to get taken advantage of?
Yeah.
And all the logistics management. So I said, you know what? Let's just remove that objection. We'll manage all those logistics and help you transform your house so that we'll get top dollar, and it's a win-win. We get so much more money than what the customer spends in the process in the sale price.
Yeah. Before we go any further on that, we should address the idea for the need of this, because somebody might be thinking, oh, I know I'm selling my home, but I still love my home. It's a great home. People are going to want to buy it. From your perspective, what would you say? I mean, how important is the home transformation process, no matter the home, in terms of selling the home quickly and at the price that you're wanting?
Overwhelming. I run comparables and say, this is the way your house is, and I show pictures of exactly other homes that have sold that maybe are a little outdated or a little beat up the way this home might be. And then we look at homes that are just amazing out of a magazine, and the dollars that it takes to transform with our wholesale vendors and pricing that we receive and us managing the job. It's day and night, and you show it to someone evidence-based and say, here's the data, and they look at each other and say, well, Bob, she's right. We really want this much more for our house.
Sure.
It's a great win all the way around.
Yeah. So you, as the realtor, what role are you playing during this home transformation process if somebody decides to hire that person to come in?
Yeah, the hardest part of my job is enrolling my customers into the vision of this.
Okay.
Many people have their home the way that they like it, and they've lived there for 15 years, and it's just fine to them.
Yeah.
So maybe showing pictures of other homes or showing pictures of current trends and styles, colors, etc., some very low cost items. That's the hardest part, is to educate, enroll, and show the data about this approach.
Yeah.
Because certainly anyone can walk into your house and put the house on the market and take your business. But I truly believe that my fiduciary responsibility is to get the highest price for people and to sell their home and achieve their goals.
Yeah.
And so just selling it isn't my goal. My goal is to sell it and make them $10, $15, $20, sometimes $50,000 more for their property.
Wow.
Because we spend the time, and it's more work for us. However, I feel that that's what I'm being hired for. Yeah.
Would you say that's kind of a newer way of thinking for some people? Maybe they're used to just, I just want somebody to come in, put my house on the market, and let's sell it. Maybe this is a different, it takes a while to change people's way of looking at it, I would imagine.
It does. And that's why a crazy statistic, 30% of the houses that we sell are customers that have been on the market before, and they haven't sold, so they're looking for now they're ready for the message. Or it's people who actually interviewed me. They didn't choose me. Their house didn't sell. They called me back and said, we should have listened to you in the first place. So it is very interesting. The data is overwhelmingly in this favor.
Yeah. Well, we are going to take a quick break here and chat with the experts. But when we come back, we're going to talk about some simple home updates to make before listing your house on the market, and how online marketing has become a huge part of the home selling process. Stay right here. You're listening to Chat with the Experts.